Christopher Marlowe's The Jew of Malta is a seminal work in the canon of Elizabethan drama, first performed around 1592. The play is a provocative exploration of religious hypocrisy, power, greed and revenge, set against the backdrop of Malta's political and religious tensions. Through its central character, Barabas, Marlowe crafts a dark and cynical view of human nature, exposing the moral corruption of individuals and institutions alike.
Act 1.
The play opens with a prologue delivered by Machiavel, representing Machiavellian ideals of cunning and pragmatism. The narrative begins in Malta, where the governor, Ferneze, levies a tax on the island's Jewish community to pay a tribute demanded by the Ottoman Empire. Barabas, a wealthy Jewish merchant, refuses to comply and has his wealth confiscated. Enraged, Barabas vows revenge against the Christians who have wronged him.
Act 2.
Barabas regains some of his wealth by orchestrating schemes with the help of his loyal slave, Ithamore. He devises a plot to pit Lodowick, Ferneze's son, against Matthias, a suitor of Barabas's daughter Abigail. Barabas's manipulations lead to the deaths of both young men, and Abigail, horrified by her father's actions, retreats to a convent. Barabas's vengeance escalates as he poisons the nuns in the convent, including his daughter. Meanwhile, Ithamore, influenced by Barabas's malevolence, becomes a willing accomplice in his master's schemes. However, Ithamore's growing greed and disloyalty set the stage for Barabas's eventual downfall. Barabas's crimes come to light, and he is betrayed by Ithamore and others. To evade punishment, Barabas fakes his death and allies himself with the Turkish forces besieging Malta. His cunning allows him to gain the trust of the Turks, only to betray them in turn. In the climactic act, Barabas's intricate plans unravel. Ferneze outmaneuvers him, and Barabas falls into a trap of his own making, dying in a cauldron intended for his enemies. The play ends with Ferneze reclaiming Malta for the Christians, and the audience left to ponder the cyclical nature of vengeance and corruption. Religious hypocrisy. The play criticizes the hypocrisy of both Christians and Jews, portraying all sides as driven by greed and self-interest rather than genuine piety. The religious tensions in Malta serve as a microcosm of broader societal conflicts in Marlowe's time. Power and greed. Barabas embodies the destructive power of greed, as his relentless pursuit of wealth and revenge leads to widespread suffering and ultimately his own demise. The political leaders, particularly Ferneze, are equally complicit in perpetuating corruption. Revenge. Revenge drives the narrative, with Barabas's schemes escalating in complexity and brutality. The cyclical nature of vengeance is highlighted, as no character emerges unscathed by the end. Barabas. As the titular character, Barabas is a complex anti-hero whose intelligence and resourcefulness are both admirable and terrifying. Marlowe presents him as a victim of societal prejudice and a perpetrator of unimaginable cruelty, blurring the lines between sympathy and condemnation. Abigail. Abigail serves as a foil to her father, embodying moral integrity and a desire for redemption. Her tragic fate underscores the collateral damage of Barabas's vendetta. Ithamore. Ithamore represents the corrupting influence of Barabas's example, highlighting how greed and moral degradation can spread like a contagion. Marlowe's use of blank verse lends the play a poetic rhythm, while his sharp dialogue captures the wit and cunning of his characters. The episodic structure mirrors the unpredictability of Barabas's schemes, creating a sense of escalating chaos. The play reflects the Elizabethan era's anxieties about religious conflict, particularly between Christians, Jews, and Muslims. Anti-Semitic stereotypes in the portrayal of Barabas were common in Marlowe's time, but remain deeply problematic for modern audiences. The Jew of Malta is a compelling exploration of moral corruption, revenge, and the destructive power of greed. Through its dark humor and incisive critique of societal hypocrisy, the play remains a provocative and relevant work. Marlowe's masterful characterization of Barabas challenges audiences to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and the consequences of unchecked ambition.